Today's video is a requested one following on from a recent decluttering video that I did where some of you asked me what I'd kept after I had a huge clear out and got rid of approximately 50% of what I owned. I had an entire bed here full of clothing as well as 17 pairs of shoes which were all ready to be donated to charity or sold, so I thought I'd come on today and do a sort of minimalist wardrobe tour for you. Whilst it isn't at the final stage of my goal, I'm really happy with how far I've come along on my minimalist journey so far, and it's taken me a very long time to achieve it, which I really wanted to share with you. So let's get right into the video. Hi, welcome back to Red Curl Vegan, and thanks for joining me in today's minimalism video. So the decluttering video that I did a couple of weeks ago turned out to be quite popular, and if I'm being honest, I was quite surprised by this because it was sort of the first of its kind on my channel. I've done videos in the past about why I became a minimalist and the things that I no longer buy and just generally living with less, which I'll link in the description box down below for you, so definitely go and check those out. But bringing decluttering and clothing and minimalism all into one video was something that I hadn't done before, so I was really grateful for all the positive feedback that I got. And I even got a comment on there from one of my favourite YouTubers, Holistic Habits, who has over 1 million subscribers. So hi Sarah, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to go onto my channel and actually watch one of my videos. It really meant the world to me, and to be honest, this encouraged me to film today's video because whilst my wardrobe may not seem very minimalist to some people, as I've said on my channel previously, everybody's definition of minimalism is different, and also everybody's comfort level within minimalism differs as well. So this is a really big part of my journey, and I feel like I've come a really long way. 3 to 4 plus years ago, I owned, I would say, 75% more than I do now. So I'm really pleased with how much I've managed to declutter. So I won't be showing you my shoe collection in this video, and I also have my accessories, as I call them, so hats and scarves and gloves and underwear and things like that, as well as my coats in the spare room. But this is a real tour of my wardrobe, so nothing has been removed for the purpose of the video, and I'll be showing you some of the sustainable things that I have and some of the ethically made things that I have, as well as the not so sustainable things, because I want this video to be very honest. I think social media makes it really easy to see other people's lives and other people's homes online and wish that we had the same thing or beat ourselves up that we're not doing enough. But as I've also said in lots of my previous videos, it's really important not to give yourself too much of a hard time, because big lifestyle changes and big journeys like these don't happen overnight. They all take time and they're all a work in progress. So I'm hoping to include some tips and advice in this video that will be helpful to you if you're on a minimalist journey yourself, or you're just starting out, or scaling down how much you own is something that you're interested in. I got inspiration very initially back along on my journey from at Heal Your Living, and that is a channel that I've mentioned a lot in the past. She classes herself as an extreme minimalist, which I'm not, but I did take a lot of inspiration from her channel, so I'm hoping that this video will be helpful for you too. So let's just get right into it. So one of the first things I wanted to mention in this video is something that I touched upon in that decluttering video, and that was about having a minimalist colour scheme. So I did say that in that video, prints and floral patterns and bright colours isn't a bad thing, but just personally something that's really helped me to scale down the amount of clothes I own is to just stick to neutral colours. I've also learned to accept the fact and be proud of the fact that I have red hair and pale skin, and so usually I don't find that bright colours suit redheads. So actually sticking to a handful of autumnal and earthy colours has really helped me. So I have khaki green, which if you've watched my videos previously, you'll know that that's my favourite colour. I also have a lot of black. I have browns or tans. I have creams or beiges, and I also have some light grey. I also have a few slightly light denim items as well, but not as many. So that handful of colours, in my opinion, all go together. They all coordinate, they all mix and match really well, and this makes it really easy automatically to own less things. So I'm not going to be going over every individual piece because that would take a really long time, and I want to prevent this video from being too long. I'm just going to show you a few bits that I'm really happy with and a few things that I'd like to improve on. So I'm going to start with the jumper that I'm wearing, which I bought on eBay second hand a couple of weeks ago. This cost me £2.50, and of course this colour is everything to me. It's khaki green, and I really like the back of it. It's got this really cute back that's like low low cut and has this lovely crisscross pattern, which I think is really, really pretty. And I'm really happy that I found something that fit me, that was also a style that I liked, because something that I want to point out in my video is that buying secondhand and from sustainable brands or more independent small businesses is definitely the way to go. And I am trying to steer away from fast fashion brands. But like I said, I do want to be very honest in this video, because otherwise it wouldn't really fit in with my channel. So I want to show you things that I own that are from fast fashion brands, but that are also secondhand. And sometimes it's not easy to find things that fit us or that we like in style, and you do have to enjoy what you wear. So it's all very well scaling down and minimizing the amount that you own, but you do also have to enjoy what you wear and what you own as well. So part of minimalism isn't just about owning less, it's also about finding joy and getting use out of the things that you have. That's what's most important. So yeah, firstly this jumper, which I think was from New Look, and really, really in love with it. This is going to be great for the autumn and the winter. It's nice and heavy, and it's a thick, chunky knit as well. And then I'm just going to start here with the linen trousers that I own. So in that decluttering video, I showed you some of the old summery trousers that I was getting rid of, and they were all very patterned and bright in colour, and they were also synthetic fibres, which weren't very breathable. I did a lot of travelling a couple of years ago to Southeast Asia, and at that time I didn't really take into consideration natural fabrics or sustainable clothing, and so that was what I had at the time. But I've made a really conscious effort to invest in more natural fibres. And whilst these linen trousers are from H&M and they were new, which is a brand that is considered fast fashion, to be completely honest, I've really struggled to find 100% linen trousers that fit me and that also look good. So like I say, it's not always easy to find everything secondhand, and sometimes you just need to not beat yourself up too much. And I know how well I look after my clothes. So some of the clothes in this wardrobe are up to 8+ years old. So I do keep them for a very long time, and I take great care of them to minimise waste as well. And so I've got 3 pairs that are the same. I've got a black pair, a light grey pair, and a nice cocoa brown pair. They're tapered at the bottom, they're really comfortable, they have a nice drawstring waist. And then I also have this pair, which was from H&M, which aren't linen, but they are made of recycled materials, and they're just a really great colour for hot countries. They're super loose and really comfortable as well. And then here I have another green pair of linen, part linen trousers, which did come from Primark, and I did buy these new at the beginning of the year. These were a very random find, I must be honest. And I feel myself justifying them because I know that Primark is not a good brand, to buy from. But these were a kind of random find. They're at the back of the rack. They only had one other size, which was like a size 4. And these are actually a size 6, which is smaller than what I usually wear, which is usually an 8. But they just fit really, really well. And I'm really surprised that I found an item of clothing that contained linen from such a cheap brand, if that makes sense. So I like the fit, I like the length. And of course they're the perfect colour, so I just had to get them because they're also affordable, and again, I will be keeping them for a long time. On a more slightly sustainable level, or a much more sustainable level, I have this brand new pair of lovely forest green 100% linen trousers from Linenfox. So they have an Etsy shop, which I will link in the description box down below, and I've mentioned Linenfox in previous videos. I did buy 2 of their pairs of trousers in the past, and for a multitude of reasons, I did return them at the time. I decided to get a harem pair again and treat myself to these. I mean, this colour is just life. So I treated myself to another pair again. They are a lovely small sustainable company, and they're slow fashion, and all of their items of clothing are handmade. They are based in Lithuania, so not local at all, but they're a really lovely company, and the owner is a really lovely person to talk to, so definitely go and check them out. So I will be doing another video on these separately. I don't want to take up too much time in this one, and I'll also be mentioning some other sustainable brands that I've purchased from as well. So these linen trousers from Linenfox are going to be really, really good in all sorts of seasons, because I'm going to start trying to layer things up. My style over the last few months, and even since I made that decluttering video, has massively changed, and I'm trying to embrace the inner hippie in me, or be a bit more alternative and kind of wear what I feel more comfortable in, rather than trying to conform to mainstream fashion, if that makes sense. So I do still have 2 pairs here that are old ones, which are not natural fabrics, and I'm still undecided on whether to donate them to charity yet, because I kind of like them and I enjoy wearing them, but I have acquired enough pairs now to swap them out for. And that's something that I forgot to say was another bit of advice if you're wondering how to declutter or how to minimize your wardrobe or your house in general. I always apply the rule of 1 in, 1 out at least. So whenever I acquire something or bring something new into the home, or preferably second hand, I always swap it out for something else, or at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 things, which is what I've been doing here. And that's how I've managed to cut my wardrobe down so much. So then along here I have this second-hand, again from eBay, which I bought a couple of months ago, 100% linen shirt, which is, I think, 3 sizes too big for me, but this will be really, really great for the summer, and it buttons all the way up, and it's a breathable fabric. This cost me £1.17, so I was really, really pleased with that. That's a great bargain. And I've mentioned in my channel previously that I have lupus, so mine is the cutaneous form, which means it is a skin condition for me. Unfortunately, it's affected by the sun, so I have to be really, really careful. And I'll be very honest, I haven't been very sensible in the past. So I spent many years living in the Mediterranean prior to moving back to the UK, and I was surrounded by people who had beautiful dark skin and lovely olive skin, and they tanned really easily, and I think I just wished that I could have skin like theirs, and obviously I didn't, and I wasn't very sensible, so I will hold my hands up to that. And you know, it definitely hasn't done me any favours now, so I'm definitely trying to invest in more sensible clothing, if that makes sense. So long, loose, breathable trousers that protect me, and also long, loose shirts and natural fabrics and that kind of thing. And so then in here I just have another second-hand 100% long kind of denim shirt dress. I have some old jumpers in there that I've had for years. And then here I have kind of an accidentally linen shirt dress, if that makes sense. So this is something that I bought secondhand on eBay a good 5+ years ago. And at that time I wasn't looking for natural fabrics, and it wasn't something that I considered. And actually looking at the label the other day when I was doing my declutter, I found out that this is actually part linen, which I was really shocked by, to be honest. So this is definitely staying in my wardrobe. And of course, again, it's khaki green, so it's going to be used with a load of outfits. And then in here I've got my trusty long knitted warm khaki green cardigan, which is from Primark again, but I have owned it for years and I practically wear it every day, so it's a really good item to have in my wardrobe. I'm not going to be getting rid of it, and I get a load of use out of it. I've then got one long black cardigan here, which I don't really use, and another dress here and a long kind of kimono lace thing, which I'm debating whether to give those to charity as well. So after this video, I'll still even probably do a little bit more decluttering, even after I did that humongous declutter a couple of weeks ago. And then I've got some summery kind of long dresses here as well. Now these are almost entirely cotton, which is great, but some of the patterns are not really what I use anymore, or they're not part of my colour scheme that I just explained just previously. So I'm probably going to be donating these as well at some point when I've found suitable replacements for them. And then back here I just have a handful of smart formal kind of suits for things like funerals and interviews and things like that. And whilst they are only occasional items, I wouldn't want to have to go out specifically and purchase them again just for one occasion, for example. So there's just a couple back there. There's a nice green jacket and some formal dresses, which I'll keep for, you know, the future if ever that occasion arises. And now moving on to these shelves, I'm going to try and run through them as quickly as possible. I've got 2 onesies up here. I can't live without a onesie. I don't know if anybody else can relate. I used to have about half a dozen of them, so I'm really glad that I've managed to cut this down to just 2 of my favourite ones. And then I also have a lovely warm fluffy pair of winter pyjamas here as well. These were a gift, and again they were bought from Primark, but I'm going to be wearing them for many years to come, and I'll look after them. I used to own loads of pairs of pyjamas as well, so yeah, they're definitely going to get a lot of use. And then here I kind of have my accessory shelf, as I call it. I have a wide brimmed sun hat here and 2 cotton caps to make sure that I'm protected out in the sun during the summer or even in the spring. And I also have 2 kind of cross-body small handbags here. I used to have God knows how many handbags. I think I must have owned at one point maybe 20. And also I had a load of purses as well for some reason. I've got another black smart one at the back here as well, which I wanted to keep because I really like the shape of it. And when I got rid of that many handbags, I wanted to make sure that I still had something smart to wear. So then now moving on down to vests. I seem to have 7 vests and 7 t-shirts. That's kind of a coincidence, but I guess it's a fairly cool number. These are all cotton t-shirts, and they're more like my kind of casual ones that I wear when I'm layering up or out for outdoorsy things and things like that, so they're not best, if that makes sense. They're all 100% cotton, and some of them are white back here, which doesn't really tie in with my colour scheme, and I've kind of grown out of the style of them, but I haven't found suitable replacements yet, so I'm happy to keep them for now. And they also all have high necks, which is another thing that's really important for my skin condition. My chest is very delicate, and unfortunately I can't really wear low cut tops out in the sun, so I have to ensure that all the things that I buy button up really high as well. And then I've got 4 spaghetti strappy tops back here, and then back here I've got 2, I think 3 actually, sets of gym clothes or active wear. Now I used to have, I think, about 6 sets, which I actually got rid of a couple of weeks ago after I did that decluttering video. And I also got rid of a sports bra and a crop top, which I'm hoping to replace with a sustainable one from BAM, which is a bamboo clothing company, and it contains mainly viscose bamboo and also organic cotton. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, even though I don't go to the gym at the moment, I'm really pleased that I've cut down on the kind of active sportswear that I have. I probably could get rid of another set, but at the moment I'm just leaving it like that. And then here I have some long sleeve tops. Again, these are all 100% cotton. I got rid of colours that weren't within the scheme, so things like navy blue and stuff like that. And then moving on down here, I've got my joggers, 1 pair of which is currently up for sale on eBay. I have some fleece lined kind of jeggings here as well that I like to wear outdoors in cold weather. And back there I just have some leggings. I even have some leather ones as well, which I think I've probably definitely grown out of. So I imagine that I'm going to be donating those to charity shortly as well. And then down here, I'm hoping that you can just about see this in the camera, is my jeans. So I think have 10 pairs there, so that isn't very minimalist, I will be honest. There's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 pairs that I could potentially get rid of, but being completely honest, I do wear all of them. So like I said, if you get use out of something or it brings you joy, or definitely if it has sentimental value, then of course you should keep it. And now I'm going to move over to this side. So again, this might not look like a very minimalist wardrobe to some people, but I still find myself having to pinch myself over this, because I'm going to be completely honest, this is the wardrobe of my dreams. I've always dreamt of being able to hang everything up like this and fit everything I own into one purpose-built wardrobe, if that makes sense. So whilst it might seem like there's quite a lot there, this is everything that I own. So minus, like I said, the coats in the spare room and things like my underwear and outdoor accessories and things like that. This is literally all I have left. So I'm really, really proud of how far I've come. So I've got some warm, thick winter jumpers here. Some of these are new. This one was bought for me a couple of weeks ago and it replaced 2 jumpers. So along with this one is really, really old. I cannot even remember when I bought it, but it's got a nice low cut back as well. And this one was a Christmas gift, I think last year or the year before. I think I've only worn it a couple of times, so that's going to definitely get a lot more use. This grey one is from Primark and I've kind of fallen out of love with it, so I'm probably going to donate it to charity and maybe not even replace it. I've got a denim jacket here that's ripped, which I do really enjoy. I've got a longish kind of black Primark jumper here again as well, but I know that I'll own this for years and it won't need replacing. And then I've got a thick cardigan that I think I used to wear when I worked in an office, which I haven't quite decided whether I want to get rid of that yet. And then here I have my kind of thinner jumpers, as I call them, so not as warm as these ones, but more kind of autumn wear. And then I have a bodysuit here, another long sleeved green bodysuit that I'm probably going to get rid of because it's got a huge low cut front, if that makes sense, and it's probably not really something that I wear much anymore of. And then I've got quite a few sleeveless bodysuits, which I will be honest, I haven't really decluttered those very much yet. And then this is probably my only colourful piece in my wardrobe. I don't know whether some people will find this colour scheme maybe boring, I don't know, but I think all of the colours combine together really, really well. However, I have decided to keep this one patterned piece. Whilst I personally don't believe that reds and pinks really suit redheads very well, I like the bits of green that it has in it, and the floral pattern is quite cute. And I think with kind of a plain smart back outfit, for example, this will add a great pop of colour. So I definitely want to just keep this one staple item. And then trying to move things along quickly, I have a couple of cotton t-shirts up here that are more for smart casual use, so as opposed to the really casual ones that I had rolled up on the shelf. Some of these are brand new, and again they are from Primark, but to be honest I've really struggled to find any online second-hand or in charity shops that I liked the fit of. And this one here, for example, whilst it is from Primark, this will be really, really good in a hot country. Again, it has a nice high neck, which can be quite difficult to find because I can't have low-cut t-shirts. It's also got splits in the sides, and it's an oversized one, which will be nice and breathable, sorry, and light and airy. I've got another long sleeved 100% cotton cream top here that again has a really high neck, so that will be great for traveling to hot countries and doing lots of hiking, for example, or sightseeing outdoors. And then here I have my kind of summer collection of the travelling things that I swapped out in my decluttering video. So I did a lot of travelling to Southeast Asia a couple of years ago. I just mentioned that at the beginning of the video about my summery trousers, but I also owned obviously the top half stuff. And so I've really, again, made a conscious effort to only get natural fabrics. So all of this is linen and cotton, none of it is blended. And this is a brand new shirt from Gap, which I've never purchased from them in my life, to be honest, but the colour is like this really nice natural washed linen, which I think is really nice. Again, it buttons up all the way to the top, which is great for me. And yeah, whilst it is new, I know that I'm going to keep it for many, many years to come. And then underneath, there's this sort of box-shaped t-shirt from H&M, which again is probably considered a fast fashion brand, but I found them really useful for clothing and colours that I want in my wardrobe, if that makes sense. And it is also recycled cotton, which I was really happy with. I haven't got any use out of it yet, of course, because the weather hasn't been very good, and I want to save this for going on holiday when we're allowed to travel properly again. And it's got really good 3/4-ish length sleeves, which will be great for me because I do get really burnt on my shoulders, and it's a nice kind of cropped effect, and this light beige will be great in hot weather. And then a lot more sustainably, I have a second-hand 100% linen shirt here, which again is my lovely khaki green, and this is a H&M shirt, so I knew that I'd like the fit. This cost me a couple of pounds on eBay second-hand, so I was really pleased with this. And then again, another 100% cotton t-shirt bought on eBay for a couple of pounds second-hand as well. And then here I have a shirt that belonged to my mum, who passed away a couple of years ago, and actually today would have been her 58th birthday, so this definitely isn't going anywhere. I can't bring myself to part with it for obvious reasons. It holds huge sentimental value to me, and it happens to be 100% cotton. It's a little bit big on me, but she also had an inner hippie as well, like myself, so this will definitely be staying. And this is just a 100% again cotton t-shirt with a nice high neck and a convenient colour for hot weather as well. And then here I have another accidentally linen shirt as well, which I actually bought in the sale in New Look a good 5-6 years ago now, I think, which again was not a time when I was looking out for natural fabrics, but it happens to be 100% linen, which is quite unusual when you shop for at fast fashion brands. So this obviously is going to be staying. And then I have this second-hand 100% again white linen shirt, which ties up at the front, which I thought was really, really cute. This cost me again a couple of pounds only second-hand on eBay. And then here I have a 100% cotton shirt with a hood, which is very unusual. You can't find that kind of thing on this side of the world, well, certainly not in Europe anyway. I bought this in Thailand, I think 3 years ago, and it's really convenient for preventing the back of your neck getting burnt. And I bought this from a local stall in, I think, on the south coast. And then finally up on this rack, I have a couple of items back here, which are things that I used to wear when I worked in an office. I'm not sure yet whether that part of my life is over and whether I will ever work in an office again, but it's just a handful of kind of black formal smart shirts and things like that. I tried to keep the ones that were mainly natural fabrics, so mainly cotton, and I donated the ones that had mostly polyester in them, so I'm not quite sure what I'm doing about those yet, but I imagine once I've made my mind up about what I'm doing next, they'll probably be going to charity as well. And then finally down here, again, might not look very minimalist, but this is all of my jackets, hoodies and fleeces. Some of them are zip-ups and some of them are just full front, if that makes sense. I have cut these down as well. I used to have quite a few more than this, so I've just kind of kept it to one colour of each. And then I've got a zip-up black one, a normal black hoodie, and then here are my two outdoorsy fleeces, which I literally wear all of the time, so I'm definitely not going to be getting rid of them. I have no reason to. And then here, finally, we have my collection of skirts and shorts. Again, doesn't look like a very minimalist amount, but this is actually quite a symbolic section to me, because up until a couple of years ago I was really insecure about my legs, and it's not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just that I wasn't very confident about being so pale, and I have a few very faint spider veins on my legs as well, or yeah, spider veins I think they're called, so I was quite self-conscious about them. I think we all have one or two things that we're not very confident about, or insecurities, so I've just learned to embrace my natural self and just be more confident with who I am. So whilst this isn't a very minimalist amount of skirts and shorts, it's symbolic to me that now I'm happy to have my legs out and, you know, walk around in short things rather than being self-conscious. And they all have a different use, they all have a slightly different style. I have tried to cut them down, but I do get a lot of use out of all of them. And I also have a nice linen pair here that I bought at the start of the year, again from H&M, but these were in the sale and I couldn't find 100% linen ones that I liked the look of. So these are going to be really handy when the weather actually improves. So there we go, I hope that you found this video useful. I do apologise if it's gone on a little bit longer than I was hoping. I did do my best to run through everything as quickly as possible. I hope that you found my tips and advice helpful though, such as the rule of 1 in, 1 out, or even 1 in, 2 out if you're interested in decluttering, and also maybe minimising your colour scheme as well can be really helpful. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Your support really does mean the world to me. And of course, let me know in the comments section if there's anything else that you'd like to know, or if there's another video that you'd like for me to do. In the meantime, take care and stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!